Before the world of content management system like WordPress, you had to meticulously write codes to get a web browser to display your web content in a visually appealing and user-friendly way. This was time-consuming. Those codes consist of HTML is where the content itself lies. CSS is about making content look in a certain way, while JavaScript adds interactivity to the content on the page. Now, with content management system like WordPress, things have changed as there is a clear separation between style and content. Here, the style and the way of presenting content is controlled by templates while the content is saved in a database. When you visit the site on the front end, you can see a dynamic template with content from the database. This means you can easily change the appearance of your content without changing the content itself. You can simply change the active themes and also add plugins. In WordPress, a theme is a collection of templates and style sheets used to define the appearance and display of a WordPress website. They can be changed, managed, and added from the WordPress admin area under the appearance and then going to themes. There are several free and paid WordPress themes available. Each one comes with a different design, layout, and features. You can also find themes that are designed to serve specific kinds of website. For example, WordPress photography themes are designed specifically for photographers and photography websites. Themes generally consist of three parts. One is images, JavaScript files, and the style.css file. The other is WordPress template files. And finally, an optional function .php file that will allow changes to be made to the theme. Every theme must have a unique style.css file. Once you have selected a theme for your site, you can move on to customize it. I recommend you to personalize your theme according to your requirement by taking full advantage of the customization option available before taking it live. I'll be using the 2020 theme throughout this chapter. You can choose any other theme you like. Be notified that different themes will have different options available in the customizer. The customizer works by providing a series of options here on the left hand side when you select them. They open contextual panels where you can manage changes. So let's take a look at each of these options and learn how to customize our theme quickly and easily. Let's start to customize our theme from the site identity option. Here you can add or change your logo, the title, and the tagline. If you want to change the title, you can type right here and you can note that it appears in the right hand side of your preview as you type it. You can change the tagline. So here I will type in the tagline as my WordPress site. In your title text, you can mention what is your website about, such as if you are an e-commerce website, simply name it as online shopping. However, tagline here works as a semi-title, such as if your title is about food related, you can tag it with best pizza in town. You can even leave those fields blank and fill them up later while your SEO tasks. Nowadays, it's important to create a website that looks good on every device. With the ever-increasing number in technology and the need for better user experience, it is necessary to have a website a Retina logo. There is a checkbox for Retina logo image, which is the same as the normal logo image, though twice the size. For example, if one's regular logo image is 100 by 100 pixel in size, the Retina logo image would need to be 200 into 200 pixels in size. Now there is a new feature here called site icon, and the site icon is the favicon for your site, which appears on the top left corner of your tab. It also appears when you add your site as an app on your phone or somewhere else. You can read the instruction here which says the site icon used as a browser and app icon for your website. and it must be square and at least 512 pixels wide and tall. If your logo or image is ready, you can upload it here. I've already created a few images from my site, so I am going to go and upload one here. So let's just click Select Files, go to my desktop and find the image I want and open it. The image is uploaded now, and then click Select. And now you can see the site icon is added down here as well as up here in the toolbar. Once we are done customizing site identity, we can click the back button and go to the next options, which is colors. Now the colors option will change dramatically depending on the theme you are using. It allows you to change things like the background color, header, footer, and body. And here you see you have a full color selector from where you can choose whatever you want. Let us take background color as cream and header and footer background color as white for now. You can also choose primary color as whatever you want, default or custom. For now, we can set it on default. After customizing color, we can go back and move on to the next theme option, which has a checkbox in front of search and author. We can check or uncheck the boxes which will display or hide the options in the front end. It also has a radio button for display, archive pages, post, show full text or summary. If you check full text, it displays full content, and if you check summary, it displays some initial text from your post. Now click on back button and go to the next option, that is cover templates option. This option will be available for page template where cover template is selected. It allows the user to use the featured image as background image. You can either have a fixed background or you can check on parallax effect to make the background image move when scrolled. And you can also play with overlay background color. For now, let us just select pink for overlay background color. Then select overlay text color as white. You can also go through overlay opacity selection option. Next option is background image selection in the body. We can select images which have already been uploaded, or we can upload it from any source. There is also a change or remove image option which can be used to change or remove background images as well. We can also change the position of background image to center, left, right, etc. For now, I will select center. There is also an option for image size as full, fit to screen, and original. Let me select fit to screen. You can also select either repeat background image or scroll with page option. When the image size of your background image is smaller, it will either be repeated or it will scroll with page according to the option you have selected. For now, I will not select both. After this, the next option is menu selection. We can see different menu locations. We will add them later after creating the menu. Now let us move forward with the widget option. In this widget option, we will find a footer 1 and footer 2 here, to which we can add a different widgets. Here, HTML widget and text widget is added in footer 1. So let's include HTML widget as About Us, followed by some text. It's mostly the excerpt from your About Us of your company. And the text widget as Contact Us, mostly used, with some contact details about your store or about your office located. Here, search recent posts are added in footer 2, as you can see here. So here, recent posts shows about 5 latest posts. In homepage setting, there is your homepage display with options, your latest posts, and a static page. Selecting your latest post will display posts on homepage, while selecting static page will show homepage with page lists. You can select any pages you desire to be displayed on homepage. Here, we select the homepage and also in post page to display post page for now. And lastly, additional CSS in which we can add a required style. With confirm all option, let's click on publish to take effect and changes is done. Before we start working with the menu editor, let us just talk about navigation in general. Apart from the actual content, navigation is one of the most important components of your site. Better navigation leads people where they want to go. Great navigation also helps people find things they didn't know they were looking for, while bad navigation drives people away from your website. So how do you make a great navigation? Before you make navigation, you need to know what content you have and how people would get to the content most easily. That requires mapping out all your content, maybe on Post-it, notes, or in a spreadsheet, and doing some primary user research to find out what people think is the most logical way of getting from point A to point B. We often get people to do card sorting exercises. Getting a clear picture of logical menu structure is not enough. You also need to make sure that your site is accessible from any devices with different screen sizes. This was not a concerning issue a few years ago, as the only medium of viewing website used to be the desktop. But now people use several devices like laptops, smartphones, and even tablets. With that comes new challenges. Drop-down menus don't work well, or sometimes it doesn't work at all on touchscreen devices. And with small screen size, you do not really have a room gigantic drop-down menus anymore. A lot of these issues can be resolved by using a theme that takes a mobile-first approach to web design and provides proper mobile-ready menus. Creating a menu that actually makes sense to your user is up to you. One thing you note is this: try to make your menu as simple as possible. Maybe make it as single-level accessible menu. If you have a lot of items, you can either condense them into groups or make navigation easier, either by creating subpages or by adding menus to the sidebar. Now that we have covered the theory part, let's look at how to create custom menus using the customizer. To create a new menu, simply click Menus. This will open the menu customizer, and from here you can create new menus and also assign specific menus to specific theme locations. You can see WordPress themes have at least one menu area or menu location. You can see if I open menu location, we have 5 menu areas. Number 1, desktop horizontal menu. Next is desktop expanded menu, mobile menu. We have footer menu and social menu. Now these are the areas that are predefined inside the theme. And if we create a custom menu and assign it to the menu area, then that custom menu will appear in that area. In most themes, the primary menu area, which is mandatory for all themes, will already consist of items like a home button and then all your pages in alphabetical order. Before we create our first custom menu, let me briefly talk about the settings. When you click it, it will lead you to the advanced menu properties, from where you can decide what you want to see in the menu customizer for each of your menu items. Here you can display the link target, meaning where the lines open, in the same window or a different window. You can also find other options like title attribute, CSS classes, link relationships, and also the menu description. For now, I just want the link target option to be available, so I will turn all others off. Now we are ready to create the custom menu. Let us go ahead and click on Add a new menu and give it a name, such as Main Menu. It will appear in the header section. When I click a Create Menu, I am taken to a new page where I can add items or even select where the menu will appear. For now, I chose Desktop Horizontal Menu, Desktop Expanded Menu, and Mobile Menu, which are the menu locations in my current theme. And I can also choose if I want to automatically add new top-level pages to this menu. The great thing about menu in WordPress is you can add any type of item you want. When you click Add Items, you get a list of all different types of items you can add. And you can see you can create a custom link, which is just an URL from anywhere on the web, and then put in the link text. We will talk about that in a little bit. Then you can add posts. Here you can select any of the posts that are published on your site. You can select a page here, and this is also where the home link hides. You can create links to categories or tag archives. That means, for instance, if you go to the news section, you get all the posts filed under the news category, and you can create links to your post format. So in my main menu, I want to link it to all my main pages. So I'm going to open the Pages tab and then add the home link. And then each of the other pages that I have created for my site, once the pages have been added, I can reorganize them by simply grabbing an item and dragging and dropping it into a different location. And I can also create those parent-child relationships in my menu, essentially making drop-found items by simply grabbing an item and dragging it to the right. You can create as many parent-child levels as you want in these menus, but most themes only support up to 3 levels. After you've created the structure, you can also open each of these menu items and further customize it. So you will remember I switched on the ability to set the link target. So this is where you would do that. You can open a link, a new tab. And this is also where you would remove a menu item if you don't want it. Now that I have created my menu and it's set up the way I want, I am going to assign it to a menu location as Desktop Horizontal Menu, Desktop Expanded Menu, and Mobile Menu as well. More and more people are using their fingers to navigate sites, either because they have a Windows computer or because they have a tablet or a smartphone. And in those cases, there is no hover state, so this button actually makes way more sense for triggering drop-down behavior. Once you click on an item, you're taken to that respective page or post, and you can see everything works exactly as you would expect from a custom menu. But you will remember there are menu locations in this theme, and that's for a very specific reason. You have this social links menu which has been added to the theme that allows you to create a custom social media menu within your site. And that custom menu will show up with the social media icons you will link to, rather than just text. But be sure to check if your theme supports this kind of features. Let's call this menu social media and then add items. Let's add the most common social media like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram here. To do so, you'll simply have to create custom link and add to menu. But you have to link it to your actual accounts where you want to direct your viewers in case if they want to know your social media presence. And when I'm done, I'm going to assign this to the social menu. So this is a really neat feature. But because I do not want my viewers to go away from my site, I have to make sure that for each of my links, I turn on the open link in the new tab. This way, I'll make sure my visitors are able to navigate to all my social media outlets without actually leaving my site. Once I'm done, I can click Save and Publish. Close the customizer now and then view it in the front end. I have a custom menu with a drop-down, and I also have my custom social media menu using widgets. As you've been following along in the course, you may have noticed that when I scroll up and down, I have a bunch of extra pieces of content below the footer we have created. These items that you see below are what's known as the widget. They are little packaged programs that you can add to any widgetized area within your site. And depending on the theme you're using, you'll find that you usually have widgetized areas either in the sidebar or in the footer of your site. But they can be placed in other places too. You can see that directly under menus you have an options for widgets. Now, just like with the menus, you have widget areas in your theme, and depending on that theme you're using, you may have several different widget areas. Within this widget area, you can add as few or as many widgets as you want, and you can customize those widgets to do pretty much whatever you want. All of it shows up as individual units. To add widgets to your widgetized area, simply click on this plus add a widget button, and you will open the list of available widgets. Adding a widget like the Pages widget is as simple as clicking on it and it will appear in the footer here. Whenever you add a widget, you get the option of giving it a title. If you do not give your widget a title, it will actually show up with a default title, like in the case Pages. But there are some widgets that do not have titles by default because you want to display them without titles, and then you can choose to add them in. This is a great feature if you want to change what a widget title says, or if you want to translate a widget or something else. After the title, each widget usually has some sort of setting options. For Pages, you can sort the pages either by title, by page order, or by page ID. And you can also set a list of pages to exclude based on IDs. Now, these settings changed depending on what widgets you are using. As an example, the search widgets only allows you to change the title. The recent posts widget allows you to define how many recent posts you want to display and also whether you want to display the post date. The recent comments widgets allows you to change how many comments are displayed. Similarly, the archives allows you to display the archives as either a list, and the same goes for the categories, just like with menus. If you want to move a widget from one location to another, you can simply grab it and drag and drop it off to the location where you want it to be displayed. Now here's the thing, there are a couple of hidden features in the customizer that are not easy to find unless you know they are there. First of all, when you're working with widgets, the page you are currently in the preview defines what widgetized areas are available to you. So for example, there are many themes that will have multiple different widgetized area. You may, for example, have one that only appears in the front page and another that only appears on a contact page. If you are using the customizer to customize those widgetized area, you actually have to navigate to those specific pages in the preview area to be able to gain access to those widgetized areas, because you're customizing only what you can see. So in some cases, you may have to search a bit to find those different widgetized area.